In a world infested with semi-mediocre podcasts, only one show can bring you an exceptionally mediocre podcast. It's the Indispensable Thursday Show with Sable and Dave.
I'm having this incredible sensation of deja vu.
Yeah, it's totally my bad here. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but you guys just missed probably 20 minutes of Dave on fire.
Oh, it was amazing.
He started with some ranting about the trash that turned into this great episode. I was about to go hit a clip. I look over and I don't know what was going on with Logic. It just...
We were 27 minutes into the most amazing auditory phantasmagoria that you've ever would have witnessed, but it didn't get recorded. So.
It didn't get recorded, and I'm sure somehow it's my fault. I mean, I am on my second bourbon here. I think, I don't know, I redid an audio interface. To make sure audio hijack was going, and anyways.
So anyway, my as I was saying, my entire street is lined with trash cans that are full because everyone on my block was confused about when to put the damn trash out.
Are you sure you want to go through this again?
We had more. No,
you seem crushed. You could skip. You could skip this.
What else we got to talk about? We'll get back to that another day.
Well, So we're gonna skip his little monologue, which was really funny, but I totally screwed it up for him. And I'm gonna go directly into a little bit of follow up.
Okay.
So when we were listening to the show I was listening to the show, I realized maybe I had too much to drink. I said Tigerian when we were talking about Game of Thrones instead of Targaryen. Mm-hmm. And that is punishable by death. So I'm glad the show didn't listen to us. Maybe they did, and we're now blacklisted. No one in Game of Thrones can listen to our show. Without any spoilers, I just want to say it's Daenerys Targaryen, not Tigerian.
Girl.
Exactly. And somewhere in that sentence, in that part of the show, I said shown instead of showed. Like, where did I learn how to speak?
It's the bourbon, man.
Well, the bourbon, man. I'm gonna have to maybe wait till my second one till after the show is done, because man, that's terrible. And right off the bat, I want to apologize to Elliot directly because Elliot sent me some feedback. My information on the number of Ashkenazic and Sephardic Jews was incorrect. I was under the impression, for who knows what reason, that there were more Sephardic Jews in the world today.
You were off by a huge margin, by the way.
Yeah, it's only about 16%. I thought it was more than 50%. So I apologize. I have the right numbers now. I've been educated. I appreciate that. And I'll try and be a little more careful in the future with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, come on. This is an important show. We can't screw up like that.
No.
So, do you ever walk around in public, Dave, or do you just work in your house writing all the time?
I do occasionally walk around in public, just to keep myself in touch with the common people.
Okay. Do
you
notice
grounded?
Do you ever notice the trend of people just walking and staring at their phones?
Oh, hell yeah.
So this used to drive me crazy. Right? In fact, I started a project called Zombies on the Campus, where I was surreptitiously taking pictures of people just walking with a stupefied look on their face, staring down at their phones, because it would get on my nerves. It would bother me. And then in my Zen moment during a meditation period, I realized I shouldn't let it bother me. I should just take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And the moment of inspiration came to me when I was at a Starbucks. I was walking into the Starbucks. You walk in the door where the bar is, where you pick up your drinks, and then you walk past it to order. And the person called out the drink, latte, something, something, something. And everyone was standing there just looking at their phone. Nobody was their drink they just paid $5 for was sitting on the bar, ready to go. And everyone was just staring at teenagers, adults, men, women, just staring whatever, Facebook, Instagram.
This would be a good racket to just go in and just pick up their coffee and go out.
So I had the thought, I could just walk up to the bar, grab their coffee, say thank you, and walk out. And nobody would notice that. By the time they looked up, they'd say, hey, where's my double, triple, mocha, latte, soy, half calf? I'd be like, oh, I put that on there. Like, they would never have known. So instead of fighting them, I'm embracing the sheep.
You reminded me of a moment when I used to live with my buddy who we went out one night. He got pretty toasted, and he'd eaten a gigantic bowl of tuna and onions before we went out.
Nice.
Yeah, raw onions with tuna. So we went out to drinking and came back, and another roommate was there. This was my buddy's house, but he had a couple of us living there with him just to break the place in because he just bought it. And so we're upstairs. The drunk guy went down. He went into his room for a while, I think passed out on his bed, and my friend and I were up in the upstairs, and I said, I haven't seen, I'll call him Ted. That's not his name. I haven't seen Ted in a while. I wonder if he's okay. So I tiptoe downstairs, and I open up, I see the bathroom light on. I'm like, oh, I kind of open it up, and I see him laying there next to the toilet with a gigantic pile of vomit next to the toilet, the pristine, clean toilet, beautiful, and then this pile of vomit. Now, the angle of repose of tuna and onion vomit is like 40%. I mean, it's like almost like a perfect, it's almost like a pyramid. I was like, oh my God. And he's just laying there, and I'm like, oh. So I run back upstairs and I say, Tony, that's his real name. I go, Tony, Ted's like super drunk and he just barfed all over the floor. I don't know what to do. And Tony looked at me and he said, what do you mean you don't know what to do, Dave? Get a camera. I said, yes. So I ran and got my camera. That's how we ended.
That was perfect.
Yes, perfect. So somebody else made a laminate of that picture. It was beautiful. So
nice.
I would sometime like to put it on the website.
Well, I'm using the zombieification of people to better my own interests. So when I go into the coffee shop, I don't steal their coffee. That's over the line for me. But people are sort of milling around like they're
not really stealing it if they just give it to you.
But they're not quite in line. But maybe if they were looking up, they would go get in line. I just walk in front of them, order my drink, and move on. Mm-hmm. You know, I see people are just sort of milling. I just walk right past them. Mm-hmm. Someone's milling slowly over to pick something up. I just go pick it up. There was one time at the grocery store, believe it or not, shopping and on the phone, the person had what I wanted in their cart. And I would have had to walk 3 hours over just grab.
Wow. Well, that's not stealing, really. You're going to pay for it.
I grabbed it from the cart, paid for it. I saved myself a trip.
That is funny.
I was like, why not take advantage?
I've never heard of that one. That's a good one. Oh, my God. Well, we used to call this, back in the day, we used to call it you snooze, you lose.
Yes, exactly.
Now I guess it's like you text, I'm next. You
okay.
Text, I'm next. Okay,
interesting. Well, did you know? So we knew it's Jewish American Heritage Month because I brought that up after our friends at ATBE did not. But did you know it's also Older Americans Month?
I did not know that.
I've got another public service announcement from our friends over at ATBE.
I would be delighted to hear that.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm Terry Friedman of All Things Being Equal. You know, May is Older Americans Month, a period to reflect on how little time our precious senior citizens have left on this earth. Some say they retire too soon and take way more money out of the system than they put in, or that they seem to have not learned anything in all the years they've been breathing, or that they wear too much perfume that smells weird and powdery, or that they take forever to get into and out of parking spaces. Some say that Viagra has made them disturbingly sexually active at a time when they should be wearing sweaters and sitting on porches talking about how the world is going to hell in a handbasket, or that their minds become more feeble and conservative as they age. So we here at ATBE want to remind you that they will soon be moving on to their reward. So don't try to talk to them or engage them. They've got bigger things to worry about. If you see an older American coming towards you, just cross the street. You'll have plenty of time to get out of their way. I'm Terry Friedman for All Things Being Equal. Thanks for listening.
What'd you say? What's that?
Hold on. That was like almost the exact opposite of the message I would want to deliver to young people about older Americans.
Dave, I don't think young people listen to NPR.
No, they do. That's the problem. Anyway.
What'd you say, Dave?
Well,
You've been eating the artificial flavors again.
Whatever. We get the management sends us these PSAs to play. We just play them. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Well, let's see what happens next month. Next month's going to be pretty interesting too. All right, Dave. You've told me before that you like to eat. Is that still true?
I like to take a nibble now and then. I don't know if I like to eat.
What are you, a girl? Of course you like to eat.
I just get a salad when I go on a date,
So I came across this article. I don't normally like to talk about current events. I sort of leave that to you. But this one really struck me. Taco Bell, and this is from a website, rt.com. So could be questionable. Taco Bell said it plans to replace artificial flavors, colors, and some additives, such as trans fats, with more natural ingredients by the end of 2015. It also pledged to remove more additives and artificial preservatives where possible by the end of 2017. McDonald's announced it will stop buying chickens raised on human antibiotics within the next 2 years. And Chick-fil-A, who's the largest reseller of chicken in the U.S., announced...
They're bigger than Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah.
Wow.
It would phase out antibiotic-raised chicken over a period of 5 years. So what they're saying is, oh, crap, people don't want to eat here anymore because they finally figured out what we're feeding them is not food. What we sell them is not actually food. And this is what cracks me up. That over the next few months to few years, they're going to start removing some of the additives and food coloring.
Yeah, that is weird. It's like the stuff we're feeding you is killing you. We're phasing it out over a period of a couple of years.
Over the next few years, we'll start removing the thing that's actually making you gain weight, eat uncontrollably, and die.
Well, chicken doesn't make you gain weight. I'm sorry.
Chicken doesn't, but
No.
human antibiotic-raised chicken from one of those farms where the chicken is...
What does that do to you? Do you know? I mean, really?
Well,
Do we know?
the chickens that Chick-fil-A and... Well, the chickens that Chick-fil-A and McDonald's sell you, were raised in a little box. They're about 3 or 4 weeks old. They never move. Their bones are not strong enough to support movement. They're basically just force-fed, gelatinous...
Kind of like veal, like the veal version of chicken.
Yeah, but then they're slaughtered and fed to you like, oh, here's some food.
How long do they spend in that little box?
3 or 4 weeks, I think.
I could do that standing on my head. I've had jobs that were way worse than that, and I worked there for like years.
Except this is all of the food that these people are selling. So this can't be good. And chicken nuggets
is it
is
bad?
not even. There's not even chicken in chicken
I don't
nuggets.
mean to be that, but I really kind of don't want chickens to be mistreated or veal cows. I'd rather have them, being okay and just walking around at least and enjoying a nice meal or a cigarette after. Well, don't let them smoke though. I don't want calves or chickens to be able to smoke.
Right.
Let me state that unequivocally, categorically. They should not be allowed to smoke because that's very bad for you.
Look, I'm not PETA. I'm not trying to go for the animal rights here. I want the chickens to be raised and eaten. Right? Like we eat the food. We're the top of the food chain. We eat the cows. We eat the chickens.
If you like that sort of thing, you should just eat as much chicken as you like.
That's right. All I want is the chickens to not be injected with human hormones. I don't want my corn
The purpose of that was to make them bigger or something? Is that what
Well, they want to make the food as cheap as possible, as fast as possible. It's just like their burgers. The burgers don't actually taste like burgers. They're chemically injected with burger flavor.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Well,
McDonald's.
I would like everybody to start doing what McDonald's is doing because I love the Quarter Pounder still. I don't know. Is it really? What is it doing to us though? Is it harming us?
Yes.
What is it doing?
Absolutely.
Like what is it doing?
It's harming you.
What in what way?
It's not actually feeding you, and you end up craving more food, eating more calories than you should because, of course, it's lots of sugar.
I'm just talking about the chicken, say, or the beef.
The chicken. So the introduction of the human antibiotics is bringing a resistance to antibiotics. It's also using from the supply of.
Is that really
yeah,
contributing to is it helping to make antibiotic resistant strains of certain sicknesses?
I believe
I don't
so.
like that. Okay. Well.
And And imagine this, though. The chickens are so sick and disease-ridden that they have to inject them with antibiotics before they feed them to you, or you would get sick and die.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
This is
I
not
think,
good.
I think they're going to need to be, if they actually are the cause of this, a lot of this resistant strains of diseases, they should have to get out the checkbook and pay. Seriously.
Well, people don't want to pay.
No, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, and they should get out the checkbook.
No, people don't want to pay.
What the hell was that noise?
I don't know. What was that sound? Coda? Was that the dog?
Yeah, maybe. I hope it was. I hope it didn't. I hope it came out the end that makes the vocal sounds, and not the other end that makes the other sounds.
Well, there is a
Wow.
military base nearby. Maybe there's a helicopter overhead sending the
That was a weird
FBI
noise.
in.
We have to play the tape back. It could be maybe we caught an EVP.
Ooh. Hey, well, it's still recording, so I'm going to keep going with this
That's a
this time.
what's the EVP? You ever watch Ghost Hunters? That's a electronic voice phenomenon, they call it. And mostly it's just stupid stuff that they're playing back in their brain makes up a pattern and they think they heard a word. But they have actually caught some pretty weird things if you trust them
Like,
to not fake it.
like, Dave, it's all real.
No, but they have other weird things like they'll just asking questions and you'll hear a voice answer, but they didn't hear it at the time and you didn't when you were first watching, but you'll hear like a muffled voice answering, or they've had some weird stuff, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that ghost stuff.
I know, we could never edit anything like that.
They need to have some celebrity guests though. I like to see like Michael Caine show up on there. Huh? What? Are you making Sable's making a strange gesture, but I don't understand what you.
Oh, I was trying to be very surreptitious in the gesturing.
Oh. Do you want me to talk about the trash and then work my way into that?
Oh, is that
That was the intro to that area. Remember?
Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Could you please tell us what's
But getting back to my trash situation, I gotta go now. I have to pull up the website again so I can read verbatim.
And I want to give a little. I want to tell the audience what's going on. I just completely forgot what I was going to say. That was great. We just had a holiday here in the U.S., which is, I love these holidays, the ones I get off from work. It's called Memorial
Those are the
Day.
best.
Memorial Day is where people invite me to barbecues because I served in the Army and played guitar and trombone for 5 years, and they buy brisket, and it's great. Serve me alcohol. Coda, you dog.
The dog has farted.
Our
Again.
co-host is stinking up the place again. Wow. Now, I can't remember whether in our false recording or in this recording how many times he's done that.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the last one or this one.
Seems like it's been all night long. So, we just had a holiday, and that has messed up your trash day.
Yeah, everybody in my entire block put their trash out today because it's normal trash day. But I don't know if they're going to pick it up tomorrow or the following trash day, which could be a week. I have no idea. But listen to the website here. It says, if your normal collection day falls on or after one of the 6 holidays listed above, and it is listed up there, then place your containers out for collection the day after the regular collection day. Now, on or after, what the F does that mean? Because it didn't fall on and it fell after, but it fell 2 days. It falls 2 days after. How many days? Because technically, like I said, December 24th is after Christmas.
Right?
It's just way after Christmas. So technically, so you're telling me if it falls on any day of the year, put it out the day, place your containers out for collection the day after the regular collection. It's just everybody just put their trash out and no one picked it up. That's what I'm getting at.
So, it seems like every holiday, your trash day should move back a day. Right?
I guess. You know what it reminds me of? Is you ever see Life of Brian? Monty Python's Meaning of Life.
Oh, of course.
You ever see that?
Lincoln, the President's Day comes and your trash day moves to Thursdays. And then the Memorial Day comes, your trash day becomes a Friday. By the time it's, the 4th of July comes, your trash day is on a Saturday now, right?
I guess it gets pushed today. I hope I don't have to wait a week, but whatever. I'll find out tomorrow. Because that would be the day after the normal pickup day.
Maybe.
So if they don't come tomorrow, I'm going to be extra angry for the next podcast.
We won't get too riled up about the trash. Not like we did on the previous recording that didn't happen.
Yeah. But it reminds me of that Meaning of Life segment where you remember that. Do you have? Let's pull that up. Let's do a little theater of the mind for the people here. This is what it reminded me of when I was reading that, because I was reading the part where it said, "If your thing falls on," it was just confusing. So, okay, you ready? All right. This takes place in the classroom in Meaning of Life, where it's a sex ed course about that.
Sex education.
All right. Settle down. Now, before I begin the lesson, will those of you who are playing in the match this afternoon move your clothes down onto the lower peg immediately after lunch before you write your letter home if you're not getting your hair cut, unless you've got a younger brother who's going out this weekend as the guest of another boy, in which case collect his note before lunch, put it in your letter after you've had your hair cut, and make sure he moves your clothes down onto the lower peg for you. Now...
Sir?
Yes, Weimer?
My younger brother's going out with Dibble this weekend, sir, but I'm not having my hair cut today, sir. So, do I move my clothes down?
I do wish you'd listen, Weimer. It's perfectly simple. If you're not getting your hair cut, you don't have to move your brother's clothes down onto the lower peg. You simply collect his note before lunch, after you've done your scripture prep, when you've written your letter home before rest, move your own clothes down onto the lower peg, greet the visitors, and report to Mr. Viney that you've had your chit signed. So that's what that reminded me of.
Certainly cleared things up for me.
Yeah. So I hope you all get that now. You all know when to put your trash out. Thank you very much.
That is excellent.
Oh boy. So what else you got to talk about? We've got tons of things to talk about.
Well, we had tons of stuff, and
we already talked about them. But
we talked about most of them once. But what I wanted to bring
God. Your
up,
dog! I'm going to kill your dog.
Don't kill my dog. Farting. He's old. Time is going to kill my dog very soon.
Is this older canine American month? I'm about to. Wow. Okay.
So I just wanted to mention, I did not make it to go and see whatever movie we were going to not review this week.
Oh yeah. What were we not going to review this week?
We were not going to we were not going to review the
Mad Max.
The new Mad Max.
Okay. Yeah.
Fury Road. I did not make it to see that.
Neither did I.
I did, however, see Interstellar.
Oh, good. I saw that one as well.
And that was a phenomenal movie.
I rather enjoyed it myself.
That was surprising. How deep into actual understanding of science they went, like our current understanding. Mm-hmm. It was well worth the rental on iTunes for that. I highly recommend anyone that's into sci-fi, watch Interstellar.
Yeah, it's good. It's a little longer than you might be used to of late. No, actually, the movies have been getting longer lately. Mm-hmm. If they're good, I don't care how long they are.
Right.
And it was good. McConaughey was very good. Yeah, I got into the science of it as well. The wormhole stuff was really cool. And of course, in 500 years, people are going to be watching now going, a bunch of idiots. They have no idea anything about wormholes.
Right, but there was a neat twist with the way that time functions. So I thought it was... I mean, you have to account for Einstein's relativity, but there was a whole other twist at the end that I just wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, that was great. It was
as a sci-fi fan, so I want to highly recommend that.
If you're a person who, like most people, don't quite understand relativity and why someone may like Carl Sagan did it really well in the Cosmos. He said like your twin brother. Leaves on a scooter trip, but he's traveling close to the speed of light, so he starts aging slower than you. And if you don't understand why, there's a really good old cartoon you could watch. It's actually a Bell Science movie. You could probably find it on YouTube. It's called About Time, and it's look up. Maybe we should see if you can find it. It's on YouTube. Try YouTube. It's called Bell Science.
Let's
About
find
Time.
the link, and we'll put it in the show notes. Yeah. For our listeners.
I'm going to look it up right now, but it's a really cool. Bell Science made this. Series of science films that Warner Brothers I think produced them as Warner. They did a really great job on these. They're really engaging and interesting. And
this is the kind of thing I like to share with my friends on Facebook.
You can find the Bell Science ones on there, but watch About Time. It explains really easy, super like for kids almost. Like you're like, oh, I get it. I understand why someone moving that fast would age slower. Okay, got it. So watch that. Okay, and you'll get it. It's really interesting.
We'll watch that later, for sure. Now. In the Ask a Jew section, which I'm still going to record a bumper for, now the semester's going to be over tomorrow, the question was asked, why do Jewish men avoid marrying a woman whose first name is the same as their mother's?
Besides the obvious reason, like she might be like their mother? Or...
What do you think the obvious reason is?
She might be like his mother or her mother? No, his mother.
Why a Jewish man would not marry a woman whose name was like her mother's.
He was probably because he wouldn't want to scream it out during sexual congress, and thus perhaps lose his erection.
And that's what I would think too. Like
That's where I went first. Yeah.
My first thought was, well, of course you don't want to. If your mother's name is Michelle,
Your mother's name's Trixie.
you don't want to marry a woman named Michelle because you don't want to be like, oh, Michelle, take it all in. Oh, baby, come on. Like that,
Wow, that turned me on.
in the guy's mind, that could mess you up. That could mess the guy up. Like you don't want to be thinking about your mom in that kind of way.
It reminded me of the Love Master, Craig Shoemaker. He's like, yeah, baby, I got 4 inches for it. Some girls don't like it that wide.
That's right. Yeah, baby. Yeah. His split personality thing is hilarious. So, yes, that's a good reason why. And I think really it's Jews like to put fences around the things they're trying to protect themselves from. So if it's like, don't touch this pond, you put a fence around the pond so you don't, go touch the pond. But then you put a fence around the fence in case the fence has a broken link and you could accidentally get in. So then you put a fence around the fence to keep people from the fence that keeps them from the fence that keeps them from the pond. So in this case, you'd be worried that you would call out your wife's name and your mother would respond. And that would be disrespectful to her to call your mother by her first name.
Okay.
So
even accidentally?
Even accidentally, you want to be respectful of your
You
parents
crazy
in order
Jews.
to follow the 613 commandments. You refer to your parents with dignity and respect. And you don't be like, hey, Michelle, get over here.
Okay.
Like that's not acceptable. I really think it's probably about you don't want to call out your mother's name in bed. However,
is there anything in there about if your wife refuses to perform a certain sex act you want, you could just burn her alive? Or is that Islam?
I think
Just happened last week.
burning
I couldn't
alive.
remember. Is it Jewish or is it Islamic?
The burning
that allows
alive is
that?
not a Jewish thing that I'm aware of.
I think it was Islam. Pretty sure.
But a Jewish man can divorce his wife by throwing a shoe at her if she doesn't please him.
That's it? You're done?
Yeah, you just throw your shoe and then the divorce is over and that's it.
Wow, that's pretty.
But
that's
a
pretty
Jewish
streamlined.
woman cannot initiate a divorce. But she is entitled to sex at least on the Sabbath, on Saturday.
Or like on like Mother's Day or
Well, that's American thing.
birthday.
But at least every
Valentine's
Saturday,
Day.
the woman can demand pleasure. And if you don't provide it to her, she can go and complain to the rabbi who's
She
traditionally
can
a
go
male.
to the Sanhedrin and complain.
Right. Probably get you hanged or, recircumcised. In your case, probably get you circumcised in
My
the first
husband
place.
is not hung. I would like him hanged.
He's not well hung. Would you like him to hang to the left or to the right, dear?
Oh my.
So
On behalf of the show, I'd like to apologize.
that's right.
This is our second show we've done tonight. The first one didn't record, so this is all you get, folks. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I think you had a sponsor for us. I'd really like to hear about that sponsor.
Well, we're talking to them. I need more information about this sponsor because it's called My Little Rape Kit, L-I''L. It's for kids who want to be, like, I guess, forensics investigators when they grow up. So it's got, like, little,
Oh,
things.
this is the CSI thing. No, I thought this was a joke. I thought this was like totally like somebody was messing with us. Mm-hmm. But this is because the most popular TV show is that CSI.
Yeah, there's going to be, like, CSI Junior coming out. So this is it's a tie-in. So My Little Rape Kit. You can
This
get
is
it
not
probably
an-
Toys R Us.
This is not an odd world thing. Like where the odd world where the kids are dressed up like adults doing the roles of a. No? Okay.
Well, the kids in this one are actually dressed as chimpanzees, and then they have like wires to move the mouths of the chimpanzees to be talking as if they're adults. It's very cutting edge, like avant-garde stuff. And you can buy this My Little Rape Kit. It's part of it's a tie-in. So we'll probably have those on the website, I imagine. But all right. Are we wrapping it up now? Is it been?
Okay, well, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing to the Indispensable Thursday show. You can find our show on iTunes and everywhere that fine podcasts are served. We really want to hear your voice. Please call the hotline at 657-206-0777 and leave us a message. We also would like to say that we appreciate your iTunes store reviews. It's really great when you leave us a review. And we invite you to follow us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Indispensable Thursday Show. You can also follow us on Twitter at Sable and Dave.
If you're the first caller, by the way, on the hotline, you'll get some sort of prize. And I don't mean the first caller of the day. I mean, first caller, period.
Are they gonna get a beer, Dave?
Yeah, if you'd like, I can send you my double IPA Drunken Mullet.
Oh, a Drunken Mullet.
The indispensable pale ale.
Now, Dave. Oops. Jeez. Sorry.
Sable has his kazoo out. He's going to do a song.
You seemed a little sad that we had to re-record a few minutes of the show.
I was devastated.
And I just wanted to say, Dave, some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. And other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtains with a bow. Forget about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. So always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show. Keep 'em laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Come on, guys, cheer up. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. See you, Dave.
Bye, Sable.